just doing your job does not guarantee your promotion. I just held my mom that day and I was crying.
Hi guys, welcome back to The Scoop Sisters.
For someone whose favorite pastime activity is flipping through pages, sitting on a couch, and talking about life on podcast is definitely not easy. Trust me, we understand. Reading can have a very therapeutic, calming effect on our minds, and over time, a reader tends to believe that there's no better friend than a book. Today, we are beyond privileged to have one such reader who is here to share all about all the knowledge and experiences that she has acquired through her reading journey. So, please welcome Isha Roy. So, Isha, it's rare to see you in a corporate look but without the laptop. How are you feeling?
I feel like a 40-year-old divorcee, to be honest.
So Isha, could you introduce your journey to us and mostly to our viewers?
Absolutely. But where do I begin?
Start with anywhere.
Okay.
Mainly your life.
I have to recap a little for this. So hi, I am Isha. I am 23 and currently, as my friends like to call me, that I am controlled by corporate as of now. And in my free time, I like reading books because I have no friends. That's what lonely people do. And beside that, I am actually gaming most of the time, or I like football a lot. And nobody knows that because I don't talk about my hobbies or activities other than work. So, yeah, this is something new for me as well.
So basically you're a workaholic.
I mean, it's a coping mechanism for me at this point. Like, just so the thoughts doesn't pass my mind, I like to overwork because of that.
So Isha, if I would say that burnout is a real phenomenon, would you agree to that?
I mean, it is, but if it's therapy for you, it's not.
Lovely.
Because if I'm not working, I'm overthinking about something.
Hmm.
So it's kind of therapy for me.
Yeah.
It blocks your thoughts.
Reverse psychology.
Okay, so Isha, we see your LinkedIn and we see that there have been considerable work experiences of yours showcased there. So if we were to take a trip down the memory lane and go back to where your corporate journey started from, is there any particular thing that you would like to change from your current version or something that you would like to advise your younger self?
Got it. Very good question. But why are you stalking my LinkedIn?
Because that is one of my favorite pastime activities to just get the right amount of FOMO.
She's such a stalker.
Do you stalk everybody else on LinkedIn as well?
If I'm interested in
A
their...
guy.
No, not guys. Who stalks guys LinkedIn?
I stalk their GitHub profiles as well sometimes.
No. I only stalk people who are close to me and who have something that I can learn from.
But you should start stalking guys as well. A recommendation.
Men, you. But anyways, back to your question.
Got it. So about my journey. See, I was a very underconfident kid way back in college or way back in school. Average in academics, I would say. And then college came along, and then, I told myself that I need to do something. The secret thing here is I had a long term boyfriend back then. Now, he was really good with studies and everything. So, he kind of pushed me to, do great in your career or do something in your career. Because he used to study, I used to study as well. Because to have a conversation with him, I need to know things. He's talking about statistics, he's talking about DSA, he's talking about coding. So, like, I don't know, I mean, I need to learn that stuff, right? So, I started learning how to code, like, after lockdown happened, after my 12th. started. And then I told myself that I need to explore, and I did not have a mentor or something, like nobody to guide me. So post that breakup, I kind of lost myself as well. Post that, I think I started working with some non-profit firms, and we used to do pro bono consulting, and I met a lot of people. There was somebody who was from either, I don't remember the college, but she was from King's College, and she started this consulting firm. And I was very young. I didn't know the C of consulting post that. And we used to basically work with small businesses, tell them what are they lacking, what can we do here, what problems are they facing. And there were people all around the world, from UK, from India, from everywhere around the world, right? So it was a very enriching experience for me, because I used to be very scared to lead meetings or to speak in meetings as well. It's a very common phenomenon for somebody starting out in corporate, right? So that happened. Post that, I actually started doing interns at different companies. I started out with Reliance Capital, then EY came along, and then actually not won, but kind of won the regional round in Deloitte GSM, and we went to pre-finals of that competition, and I led that team. So post that, I got an internship offer, and I converted that internship offer to a full-time offer, and our batch was actually the first batch to get an intern offer from that competition. And we were up against Shriram College of Commerce,
Ooh.
Hindu College. There was I think Christ as well. There was LSR as well. So when I was like swiping, when I was like swiping through the list, I was like, ये मतलब सोने के अंदर ये कैसे आ गया? हम लोग क्या कर रहे? श्री शिक्षायतन Machkhand. And I was like, okay, how did that happen? That happened. I took time to process that. Then we got our offer letters and everything.
But did you feel proud to be amongst them?
I did, but like during that phase, I also felt that I was not confident enough. I think there's a term for it. I am forgetting, the imposter syndrome. Yes, there's a term for it. So I kind of felt like that as well a lot of times, that I can't do this. I can't speak in meetings. I can't speak in front of a partner and present things. You have to be very confident for it. And even though it was happening just in meetings, in online setting, not in person, मेरी फट गई थी भाई कि कैसे करूं. But then Deloitte happened, and before that I started working with an early stage startup. That has been the best ever decision of my life ever. So I learned a lot of things from that early stage startup. I'm still working there full time, but yes, post that I've been sticking to them. I've been interning here and there, and I've also worked with Zomato for like 2 months. Not a good experience. Please cut this.
So, like, Isha, you shared your work experience, and you have worked with like different brands. So, we have mostly heard about like different brands have their different work ethics. So, like, how would you share your lessons like working with those different brands? What are the lessons have you got?
Okay, so the first lesson I got was during an interview, or when I was working with this early stage firm, and he asked me a question that why are you leaving? Like, why are you trying to leave this company? They have such a good founding team. Don't show it to my boss. They have such a good founding team. Why are you so keen, in leaving this job? So I was an intern during that phase, and I was like मेरे को growth चाहिए, ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, scripted answer. And then he's like, Isha, be real with me. Like, problem kya hai? Like, what happened? So I was like, the marketing manager is being an asshole to me. That's why I want to switch. So he told me that, listen, if somebody in corporate or in a work setting is being a bitch to you, then you be a bitch to them. Because if somebody is being an asshole to you, be an asshole to them, be loud. And you have to be loud in a corporate setting, and you have to talk to as many people as you can. Love, that's very important.
Love it.
Now I do believe this thing that like you should be like so perfect and prominent with your work that you can be the villain, but like you should raise voice against that people who are doing wrong to you. In that place.
Exactly, that is like very important. Otherwise, people will eat you if you are
Yeah.
too nice to everyone. In any in any career, be it in your career, be it in my career. In your career, it's way more than
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's way more pressure to actually.
People
be
are
a good
always
asshole.
there after stealing credits.
Exactly, people are always going to do that, and I don't know what they get out of it, but karma will hit them back, obviously.
Karma is a big.
So sometimes
So am I.
yourself have to work as karma.
Exactly, absolutely.
Karma is late, so I take the matter in my own hands.
You have to be loud enough. And what was the question? Key
Lessons
Lessons
involved.
from corporate.
Lessons in corporate is there are more. I'm sure there are more. I'm recapitulating it or whatever. But ये तो be loud in meetings एक था. There is be an asshole, obviously. And so there are times where I have felt that maybe I'm too young for this. Maybe I can't give feedback to this person who has maybe built businesses or has built a billion-dollar business, or I can't give them feedback. I felt that, but my boss is really supportive. Like, this has been a blessing. Like, he's such a sweet person, and he has been really
You'll
supportive.
be proud
towards
to hear this.
He will be, I'm sure. So he has always told me that you, no matter how young you are, you can always give people feedback, because feedback is a two-way thing. So you can give feedback as well, and you can take feedback as well. So that is something I've learned in corporate as well. Plus, be supportive to people no matter what position they are in, be it an intern. I am working full time right now, but I have been an intern at some point of time, and there was nobody to guide me during that time. So I try to be a mentor to that person, and
That person is me. But yeah,
Billy would agree too.
Yeah, I mean, sorry guys. We work at the same firm. I'm a junior, she's my senior. And she's also my office bestie. So.
Yes, so around that, so basically a lot of us actually start our careers thinking that the fresher salary would decide our path or next job, or our whole journey कि भाई यार ये सैलरी नहीं मिला तो क्या करूंगा लाइफ में. ज्यादातर इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में होता है कि यार उसको तो 25 LPA मिल गया, मुझे 12 LPA क्यों मिला. So people compare themselves a lot. Do not fucking do that, because that is bad for you. You comparing your salary to somebody else. His journey is different. Your journey is different. So your first salary does not decide your whole career. I mean, people will tell you technically it does कि उसी salary पे maybe तुमको hike मिलता है, like post you change your job or something. But stay true to your job, like stay true to your work ethic. People will recognize you. People will, and there is this term that sometimes just doing your job does not guarantee your promotion as well. You have to be loud about it कि हाँ मैंने ये किया आज, हाँ मैंने वो किया आज, सबको बोल दो. So that is also a thing, but you have to be very mindful about how you're doing it. ऐसे market मत करते फिरना कि भाई आज मैंने ये किया, आज मैंने वो किया. That is there as well. Plus learn, this is a very important point, learn to take feedback ठीक से, like absorb feedback. Do not be defensive about it. If any senior or anybody or a junior is giving feedback to you, learn to take that feedback very mindfully, because that will help you improve in your career or as a person as well. So these are all the things, not all the things, but some of the very important things I've learned in corporate.
Nice. Very structured answer. Love it.
This was not structured.
To hear
Yeah.
from our listening perspective. Yeah, coming back to learning, Isha, we see that you have considerable knowledge about economics. Yeah.
I don't have a degree in economics.
Okay, never mind. You always downplay it, but whatever. You have a considerable knowledge on economics, and Well, if you were to explain to us, consider we are like both 10-year-olds, and if you were to explain one economic funda or principle or anything that you found interesting when you were doing your research that most people don't know or talk about in the lucidest language possible, how would you explain it?
Do you want to understand like a theory or something?
Anything. Give
you want
examples also.
Do you want to understand a graph or something? Or what?
Without the graph, because we are not as graph educated as you see.
Maths weak hai guys. Okay, so I need to think about this a little because econ क्या समझाऊं? Do you know that even your credit card companies like Amex or be it any other credit card company, they do not want you to pay your credit card bills in time.
No.
I mean, as a credit card user, that you would think that maybe I should pay my bills on time. That's what the company wants, obviously. कि भाई पैसे जा रहे हैं, obviously. तो कभी सोचा है कि why there is this phenomenon कि companies do not want you to pay your bills at a time, the deadline के वक्त. कभी सोचा है?
Nope.
Like put some extra interest on it or
Yes,
getting more
absolutely. That is the point. See, making money by basically how do credit card companies make money? They make it via interest, right? So if you don't pay your credit card bills on time, so they will put interest on that. More interest on that. That is an income source for them. So they technically don't want you to pay your bills on time.
I recently heard a story about in Insta that someone it's about like 20 years story. So someone whose credit card bill was at that time 2000 or less than 2000. After like 20 years, it somehow at some interest rate it became like 20 lakh almost.
I think it's on compounding interest maybe.
But he hasn't paid the bill, no?
But
interest
it's compounding over time.
but बढ़ गया ना interest because he hasn't paid. So technically, credit card companies don't want you to pay their bill on
So
time.
they can make more money
So
from our money.
Exactly.
From our
capitalist mindset. See, corporate is cruel as well. You can see that.
No, if in this interest rate, I'm ready to lend someone my 5,000 rupees now, and I'm ready to take 50 lakhs after like years.
Do you guys know how banks make money?
Should be the same method only.
No, not the
what
same.
my knowledge is, but I'm not sure if it's right or not. For me, it's like they put it on mutual funds and all. So from
Even
there,
I think
they
by
take the
lending
profit
money
rate.
also via loans also the banks
loans
make
also,
money.
yeah.
Do you know the process? For an example, you are keeping your money in the bank. I may not be factually correct. Don't cancel me for this. The thing is, you keep your money at your bank. Not in any FD mutual fund or anything. You keep
Normal savings account.
You keep maybe 3 lakhs there. The bank will issue maybe 2 lakhs to somebody as a loan, and they are getting interest on that. So then your economy is a circular economy here. मतलब तुम पैसे रख भी रहे हो, वो दे भी रहा है लोन किसी को, वहाँ से इंटरेस्ट भी बना रहा है वगैरह वगैरह. सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी एज इन कि तुम खर्चा करोगे तब जाके तुम्हारे पास मतलब पैसे आएंगे भी. फॉर एन एग्जांपल, यू वर्क फॉर समथिंग लाइक आईटीसी लिमिटेड. ठीक है, तुमने आईटीसी के कोई प्रोडक्ट पे खर्चा किया. दिस इज बेसिक चाइल्ड लेवल इकोनॉमिक्स. खर्चा किया,
they're getting the money back.
You're getting the money back, right? मतलब you work there, so it's a circular economy here. And be it any other company or thing.
So basically, it transfers from an employee to the consumer.
So not technically. My point is कि it's basically a consumption driven economy कि जितना consume होगा उतना मतलब basically that will come to you as well. अगर खर्चा नहीं करोगे, people say that save money, savings is okay, but basically systematically खर्चा करना भी important है. अगर for an example 10 लोग हैं country में, 10 लोग अगर खर्चा करना बंद कर दिए तो country की तो GDP भाई L हो जाएंगे. तो this will happen eventually. So खर्चा करना is equally important. ऐसा नहीं है कि भाई मुझे चिंदीगिरी करूंगा,
बचाऊंगा,
Sorry,
savings
मानस।
करूंगा।
तो चिंदीगिरी करूंगा ऐसा नहीं होता यार, मतलब consumption is equally important and expenditure is also equally important. This is like very basic level but fun way में ऐसे ही समझाता हूँ मैं।
आता हूँ बुक्स लेके पढ़ने।
I think savings is like सेविंग्स बचपन से ही स्टार्ट हो जाती है। आई थिंक फर्स्ट सेविंग्स जो स्टार्ट होती है वो जो गुल्लक में वो जो दादी या नानी पैसा देती है वो पैसा जाके सेव होता है। मेरा तो ऐसा सेविंग्स है कि जो भी पैसा देते थे वो लोग देते थे कि ये खरीद लेना, इसके लिए ये दे रही हूँ, मैं वो जाके सेव कर लेती थी और मम्मी को और पापा को बताती कि मुझे ये चाहिए, वो जो पैसा दिया है उसके लिए मुझे वो चाहिए, वो ले लेती हूँ। लाइक सेविंग्स करना चाहिए ना, इस पैसे को हाथ नहीं लगाते अभी तो फिर वो चीज भी आ गई है, पैसा भी सेव हो गया।
Do you know Warren Buffett? I am sure you would know Warren.
I know the name.
So I think I may be factually very very wrong, but I think some people told me that he started investing in the age of 11. तो 11 साल की उम्र में कभी सोचा है कि मैं म्यूचुअल फंड में पैसे डालूंगी या एफडी में पैसे इक्विटी में पैसे डालूंगी?
आई एम फ्रॉम अ फैमिली जो मैं बचपन से इट्स लाइक ऑलवेज माय डैड इज सो इनटू शेयर मार्केट्स एंड म्यूचुअल फंड्स। लाइक बचपन से घर में मैं यही देख के बड़ी हुई हूँ कि टीवी में कंटिन्यूअस वो सीएनबीसी एनडीटीवी यही चलता है मेरे घर में।
ये स्टॉक गिर गया,
ये बढ़ गया, अभी इसका प्राइस है, अभी निफ्टी इस पॉइंट पे है, यही सब चलता है मेरे घर पे। एंड आफ्टर लाइक अटेनिंग अ सर्टेन एज, आई थिंक आई वाज 18 बैक देन, मैंने माय डैड tried so hard to make me understand mutual funds and share market, but at that moment I didn't got that interest because like dad was like पैसा अपने लगाना है, तो I was like I'm not ready to invest my money तो उस तरफ से मेरा इंटरेस्ट थोड़ा हट गया। एंड एट द एज ऑफ 18 I first invested my 500 rupees on डिजिटल गोल्ड। उसके बाद से डिजिटल गोल्ड का पैसा सिर्फ गिर रहा है। मेरा इतना लॉस, 500 मैंने लगाए थे, मैंने एक साल बाद उसे बेचकर मैं 350 आए हैं। तो
see, there has to be a diversification here. मतलब तुम थोड़े म्यूचुअल फंड्स में डालो क्योंकि there are some systematic risks you are taking here. तुम थोड़ा डाइवर्सिफाई करना है कि तुम थोड़े एमएफ पे डालो, तुम थोड़े गोल्ड पे डालो, तुम थोड़े एफडी पे डालो। अब जैसा तुम्हारा रिस्क एक्सपोजर है कि तुमको बहुत रिस्क लेना है तो तुम ज्यादा म्यूचुअल फंड में डालो, तुमको अगर मॉडरेट रिस्क लेना है तो तुम 60-40-20 करके डालो। अगर तुमको ज्यादा नहीं, पर्सनल फाइनेंस इज ऑलवेज पर्सनल। डू नॉट लिसन टू एनी फिन इन्फ्लुएंसर टेलिंग यू कि 1 करोड़ बना दूंगा आपके 10,000 को 2 साल में, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है।
Most I have learned is that the most safety in mutual fund is large cap fund. That is the most safest and कम समय में पैसा बन सकता है। स्मॉल कैप में बहुत रिस्की है अब रिस्क में ज्यादा नहीं सकती।
So basically the market crashed recently and मेरा पोर्टफोलियो मुझे लाल दिख रहा है मेरे बालों की तरह सुबह सुबह। It's like अरे यार, मतलब फोन खोला, I started swiping on not Tinder but I started swiping on Grow and I saw that my portfolio is whole red. I was like okay, क्या हुआ adulting? तो फिर I saw that market has been crashing. This is before Trump was, no, this is on the day or before Trump actually got elected, or he basically got elected for president. Basically, I took a loss for like, it's very minimal, but it's a huge amount for me, even though I earned. So I saw that I lost around 8k or something on that portfolio, and I opened my gold wala and I opened my FD as well. गोल्ड वाले में यार 2000 प्रॉफिट बन रखे हैं, अब एफडी खोला तो उसमें भी 4000 प्रॉफिट बन रखे हैं, तो 4 2 6 तो मैंने रिकवर कर लिया। दिस इज व्हाई डाइवर्सिफिकेशन इज इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर यू कि तुम उस पे उतना डालो, इस पे उतना डालो, उसको डू नॉट पुट ऑल ऑफ योर एग्स इन वन बास्केट।
हाँ, ये मैंने
दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट।
मैंने थोड़ा थोड़ा जो सिखाया था डैड ने, वो थोड़ा थोड़ा करके सिखाया था, लेकिन ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट नहीं दिखाया बिकॉज आई एम समवन जो इंस्टाग्राम में अगर 5 फॉलोअर्स पे गिर जाए तो आई कंटिन्यूअसली सी द इनसाइट्स ऑन माय इंस्टा। तो समझ रहे हो कि अगर मेरा पैसा डूब जाए, 5 रुपए भी मेरा डूब जाए तो क्या हालत होगा। तो जिस दिन मैं शेयर रास्ते में आ जाऊंगी मैं, जिस दिन मैं शेयर मार्केट में पैसा लगा रही हूँ, समझ जाना कि मेरे पास अंधा पैसा आ चुका है.
No, you have to take systematic risks here. There's a book, I'm sure you guys won't read this, but there's a book called Fooled by Randomness.
I've heard the name.
Because I posted about it. That's why you've heard about it.
Maybe.
Otherwise, people won't read these
No, it
stuff.
comes, different kinds of books comes on my suggestions also, Amazon Pay.
It's kind of about, it's by Nassim Nicholas Taleb. So if you read or if you get introduced to Nassim Nicholas Taleb, you won't be the same person. Matlab, it will change your life. And it talks about uncertainty, risks, and statistics as well. So he said that a dentist earning a decent salary is better than a quant trader making millions of dollars in markets, in trading markets. क्योंकि एक दिन मार्केट क्रैश आएगा, उसका घर वर सब कुछ भाई लुट जाएगा वो obviously. So the dentist is in a safe position as of now. So taking systematic risks, I know you have your gut feelings and everything, but taking systematic risks is very, very important. And how old are you guys? 22 as
21.
of now? 21, 22 I think. And it's very important for you to save money as well. And पैसे बैंक में रखने से कुछ नहीं होने वाला यार, तुमको इन्वेस्ट करना ही है, मतलब एटलीस्ट सम पार्ट ऑफ इट यू हैव टू इन्वेस्ट एंड सम पार्ट ऑफ इट यू लीव कि हाँ लिक्विडिटी के लिए बैंक में रखो. देयर इज अ थिंग कॉल्ड फक ऑफ फंड फॉर विमेन, नाम ही वही है, फक ऑफ फंड. देयर इज दिस, if anybody of you is into business journalism, there's this website or business journalism platform called The Ken. They wrote about this and I was like, oh, ऐसा भी होता है. So this is for women कि with that fund, with that money, with those investments, you can say fuck off to your fiance, fuck off to your toxic fucking boss, and anything that has been bothering you, so that you have financial independence. कि you can say fuck off to anybody with that fund. So building a fuck off fund is very important for women like us. Very important.
So Isha, you're talking about risk. So like nowadays, like giving up a job or like starting something new, it's all about risk, and it's such a scary thing. So what are your views on like risk versus reward?
It's a very nice question. It kind of connects that to Fooled by Randomness. Ki you have to take systematic risks here. Now, could you recap your question once more?
What are your views on risk versus reward?
Okay, risk versus reward. See, I can talk about it, but it will be in a more personalized manner here. Well, I have the perfect example here.
Yeah, please.
It's a very controversial example as well.
Oh, sometimes we love controversies too.
So basically, back in college, I got a full-time offer by a Big Four company. Can I say the name here? I can, right?
Yeah.
So I got an offer, full-time offer, post-intern. I got a PPO by Deloitte USA. And people were like very happy that, अरे college खत्म नहीं हुआ, चाकरी ले अच्छे. I was like, okay, really nice. So basically, if you get a PPO, then तो तुम्हारा फाइनल ईयर सॉर्टेड है, तुमको मेहनत ही नहीं करनी पड़ेगी कि यार जॉब ढूंढो, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन वगैरह वगैरह कैसे होगा, कैसे क्या होगा. So I was like, ठीक है, but that time also I was working with this early stage startup as well, and I was also fucking around a little कि क्या करना है पता ही नहीं है, but थोड़ा एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहा था. But post that everybody was like really happy. My mom was like, ये जॉब मिल गया फिर बेटी को. तो अब ऑफर लेटर का टाइम आया, like when my final 6th semester is going to happen. And जिस दिन ऑफर लेटर आया उस दिन आई रिजेक्टेड दैट ऑफर. पोर्टल में जाके ऑफर लेटर एक्सेप्ट करना था, आई रिजेक्टेड दैट ऑफर सेइंग, एंड दे एक्चुअली हैड दिस बॉक्स. आई टाइप्ड इन कि मतलब why I rejected this offer, they need to document this for better hiring policies और कुछ भी एडजस्टमेंट करना हो तो. मैंने लिखा सैलरी टू sorry Big Four, sorry Deloitte, no hate to you, I get it's a good fresher salary, but I thought that
You deserve better.
I deserve better. Plus, it's not me deserving that kind of money, but yeah, sorry, Big Four, you have a very dead culture. I mean, people are not that chaotic there. सबका अपना टाइप होता है. किसी का Big Four is a dream for them. For me, it was not. मतलब जॉब सिक्योरिटी मिलेगा, as you said, कि रिस्क उतना उधर नहीं है.
हाँ.
ठीक है. Rather, I chose to reject that offer with no offer in my hand. मेरे पास कोई other offer letter है ही नहीं.
हाँ.
Then I started working full time for this early stage firm, early stage startup, and my life has been great in case of career growth and everything. Risk इधर बहुत है, उधर नहीं था. उधर job security वगैरह सब कुछ था, लेकिन I still left that offer. But I wouldn't call it luck. Obviously, I have worked hard enough. Sometimes I do have imposter syndrome, but risk versus reward to hai idhar. Matlab working here in early stage firm, I get to introduce myself to CEOs of like OLX or CEO of Misho or CTO of Zomato. I meet these kind of people, and I meet some managing director in an event randomly, and I'm talking to them randomly and talking to them confidently. Like, how is this possible? So exposure ज़्यादा मिला, plus in salary terms तो sorry Big Four ज़्यादा मिला ही, क्या बोल सकता हूँ मैं. तो in case of that, I think this should be a perfect example कि risk versus reward का कैसा होना चाहिए. मतलब it still depends on your age. If you are in your early 20s, you can still start working for a startup and then see how things goes. Otherwise, if you're in your 40s जहाँ पे तुमको stability चाहिए, then you should definitely go for. It's not an advice, don't take it seriously. Then you should definitely go for something like a stable job or something, because you would get married by that time, you would have a family, तो तुमको थोड़ा चाहिए job security and everything. Now, there's this term. What does job security mean to you guys? I want to hear first.
For me, I'm not into like so much job security. I'm into like working wherever I work. I just want to be perfect with my work, so that if someday my editor or my boss say that this is not right or this is not the way we want to, and if that gets too much toxic, so that I can say that I have a perfect experience and I can do my job perfectly. I can look after like another job. So I'm not so much into like यहीं पे बैठे रहेंगे साल भर कुछ नहीं करेंगे.
नहीं, सबको चाहिए होता है ना कि कुशन चाहिए हमको, ऐसा कि हाँ ये बिग फोर का जॉब मिल गया हमको, हम तो इधर ही बैठे रहेंगे. सो जॉब सिक्योरिटी इज नॉट दैट. मतलब इवन दो इन दैट लेवल यू आर रिप्लेसेबल. अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल फील कि एमएनसी में जॉब मिल गया, कोई फायर तो करेगा नहीं ऐसे, तो यू आर स्टिल रिप्लेसेबल.
I'm more like that. I don't want to be replaceable. Like if I go, it's your loss.
हाँ, it's your loss, obviously.
For me, I think job security, first of all, it's a very, for now, because I'm in my early 20s, it's a very secondary topic for me. I am not looking for someplace secure. I'm just, even when the place that I'm interning right now, I was blatantly honest to my boss who interviewed me, I want to learn. Wherever I am, whichever company I'm being a part of, my
Harish,
first,
we love you.
I will give you a certificate of being the best manager, Harish. I genuinely have a lot of respect for you. But I was very blatant with it. I want to learn. You give me any money, I'm okay with it. You just give me an opportunity where I can learn. And this is also a shout out to Isha sitting right next to me. She is a senior at work, as I already told. She has been telling me since day one of I go to her for any sort of career advice, and she has been telling me ki don't be afraid of making like mistakes, don't be afraid of failures, don't be afraid of taking feedbacks from people. So this is something that she has taught me or cultivated in me. But coming back to the topic, for job security, I think it doesn't matter if the company is big or small. It does not matter, to be honest, also with the culture a lot. I just feel like the people that I will work with, it should be a healthy environment. I should be able to go to people and ask. I ask a lot of questions. I will ask stupid questions, but I will go and ask, because it's better to ask and get an answer from people instead of just doing it because you think you're right. I always feel that you should take others' feedback on it. So, place to learn.
Thanks, Sukanya.
Yes, thanks, Sukanya. take feedbacks, learn a lot, and just have a healthy work environment where people are supportive of you, where they push you to grow, to do things, to take accountability for the things that you do. So yeah, I love my job.
As of
Thank
now.
you.
As of
Yeah.
now.
For
Post,
now.
post 2 years, I think you would say otherwise.
I have, okay, never mind. Let's just not go into the past, but I love my job for the moment. Let's.
My first leader was also very supportive. Like, even मेरे में हमेशा से एक है कि like, you know, like I'm a new joinee, but I won't act like a new joinee because I think I'm not bragging, but I think whatever I will join, whatever the place may be, I'll be sure that I can do this work. Then only I will join. It's not like that I need something, I need to involve myself into something. That's why I won't join somewhere. So I have that attitude in myself. By birth.
Confidence.
तो या ऐसा हुआ था कि मेरा एक्सपीरियंस भी है कि एंड आई एम गुड विद डेडलाइंस. मैंने मेरा एक डेडलाइन था मेरा मैगजीन का, तो उसके लिए आई हैड टू इंटरव्यू पीपल लाइक आई वोंट नेम दैट बट दैट वाज अ पॉलिटिशियन. But he was not giving the dates, but I have to submit my work on a specific date. So uske liye that was the last day I could interview that person, and uske baad I will have to write it. I will have to write it in a document, and then I will have to submit it the other day. तो उसके लिए that was रात के 10-15 बज रहे थे उस वक्त, and I was outside. I was returning from a cafe. And उस वक्त सडनली मेरे फोन में एक मैसेज आया कि आई एम रेडी, आई एम फ्री फॉर द नेक्स्ट 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, leave everything right now. I don't care how much late it is right now, but I will have to cover this interview. I will do everything to be on time. But उसके बाद मेरा सबमिट करने जाना था ऑफिस में, and I did that, and I was supposed to be there for only like 15 minutes to like submit it and discuss it. So my editor was taking a too lot of time. So I'm like, I'm in a hurry.
Jaldi karo bhai.
Jaldi karo. Like, he was like, Manal, you're always in a hurry. Please come with a little bit time in your hand. I'm like, yeah, but I'm in a hurry today.
We are women. We are chaotic. It's okay.
So it's like, मेरे में ये है कि for me corporate is like, जितना मैं काम की बात होगा मैं उतना करूँगी, उससे ज्यादा मेरे से एक्सपेक्ट मत कीजिए. I will give you work. Yeah, I will give you work. You give me credits. That's it. No extra relations.
But corporate में ऐसा होता नहीं है.
आप ये बोलने पूछा था पाड़ी.
No, for our field, you know, that is like, no matter what, you work whole day, HR won't care. But someone you will have to be like, I am for this much. I'm not for after this hour. Yeah, for some time, like, yeah, जो मैंने इंसिडेंट बताया था कि वो डेट में मुझे सबमिट करना है, for that I will work. That's my part of job.
मतलब तुमको एक्स्ट्रा कुछ नहीं करना.
But extra में मैं तुम्हारा काम नहीं करूँगी.
Media is very overworked and underpaid.
Yeah.
हाँ, but the thing is, there's this one thing as well कि if you don't, there's something called performance reviews. This might be a corporate fancy term for you guys or a foreign term for you guys. So there's something called performance reviews. So a person doing a great job in a corporate setting, he does everything. ठीक है, मतलब timely, deadline submission, जो भी बोलो, मतलब he's good at his job, like really good at his job. That person will score out of 5, उसको 3 मिला. अब पूछो क्यों मिला? Even though he's good at his job, he has got good work ethic and everything, he is not going above and beyond. He's just meeting expectation. So they gave him a 3.
The only company I can work for 24 hours is Star Sports. Please contact me. I'm ready. I'm ready to be there 24 hours on the field. Or with any cricketers. I don't care.
Okay, so every individual has those moments where they completely go off the rails or they completely lose sight of things. Do you have these havocy moments in your life, and how do you like deal with them or like survive it?
I would say every day, because my job is very, I don't know, it's very emotionally drowning sometimes. It's a high impact role. It's a high impact role. And sometimes, yeah, it does have some impact on me. But when it comes to your question, that off the rails. Does it mean emotionally, in life, or in job perspective?
In general, like
In general, yes.
to Isha.
It has happened with me. So this will be very relatable for you folks as well. So during my, I think 5th semester or something, I'm not sure who will see this, but I was dating a guy, a 27-year-old guy, and I was 21 at 27. No, he was 25 and I was 20 at that point, 20 about 21, and it was a situationship apparently. Commitment नहीं देना था बंदे को, and during that time I was like, I'm done with this. मेरे को नहीं करना है. और मेरा रिजल्ट निकलने वाला था 5th सेमेस्टर का, ठीक है. January was very hectic for me because I was also working my internship, which demanded a lot of bandwidth from my side and also studying. तो मतलब वो सुबह पूरा काम करना फिर रात को पढ़ना is मतलब it's not ideal for a college student कि भाई तुम या तो एक चीज करो या तो और एक चीज करो, तुम दोनों नहीं संभाल सकते. And that is true. I struggled over there. So when I went off the rails emotionally was during that period of time, 2022 के time या 23 के time, when I left that situationship. It was very emotional draining for me. I cried a lot, and the next day my 5th semester results came out and I got a backlog in corporate accounting. I've never faced a backlog, never. But I failed in that subject. बाकी हर subject में pass, but it was that one backlog. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with my life? And I was losing friends. Just like you guys have your baby, the Scoop Sisters, I had my baby, the consulting club, and I built that consulting club with my friends as well. Sadly, I'm not friends with them anymore. They might be watching this as well, but it was very emotionally draining, losing them, losing that situationship, and also academically, I was like, everything is falling apart. What do I do? I just held my mom that day and I was crying that what the fuck is happening? How do I do this?
How did you deal with it eventually?
Don't do anything about it.
That's a good suggestion.
First thing is you need time to process everything. Ki this is actually happening. Your love life is a fucking
Disaster.
hellhole, and your acads is taking a back step here. You need to do something about it. It may be not my fault because see you. So, see, I told myself I have to be very okay with me losing folks or losing people from my life. Okay? Detaching is an art. If you master it, yes, if you master it, you're like settled for the whole life, I feel. I told myself that, I processed with that emotion, vagera, and those folks were bitchy to me post, I broke friendship with them, vagera, I stopped speaking to them. They were being very rude to me, but I was like, I used to cry in front of my mom that, I built this, but then, you do stuff like that, you treat me like that, obviously it's rude. Then I was like, okay, it's okay, it's happening. I just have to move forward from here. I can't be stuck here ki bhai, ho gaya, it's okay. That's why failure is very important. It will teach you how to deal with failure in the first thing. If you're a topper, for an example, you're a topper.
She is a topper.
In any case, you have topped your school, topped your college, you have built a successful business, you have never failed. The one time you will fail will be like, how do I deal with this? इससे बाहर मैं कैसे निकलूं? You get into this depressed state of mind that you don't know how to navigate these feelings, or you don't know how to navigate, the state of mind or the state of your life. Failure is very important, and that was the moment where I felt that everything is going wrong. I am just emotionally not okay, and मतलब I was not okay that time कि भाई cats का ये है, situationship ये है, friends तो zero तो मतलब क्या किया जाए? But then you have to move forward. You have to look forward, move forward, and then magically you will get used to this and you will figure things out. You will figure things out कि हाँ अब जो हुआ सो हुआ, अब ये कर सकते हैं. I can only move forward and I can figure things out likewise कि maybe not this, maybe this is for me. हाँ, तो it's important for you to fail. I feel failure is actually good for you sometimes.
I learned how to talk because of failure, so I know it.
Failure is
I know it.
Very important for you, and that was a very bad emotional state I was dealing with. There has been other emotional states as well, but during that phase I was down. I used to cry holding my mom रात को, and that was a very bad state. But it taught me a lot कि भाई उसके बाद से I introduced something called boundaries कि हर बंदे के साथ attach नहीं होना है. This बंदे एक तो बंदे are not good. Secondly I learned कि अगर कोई बंदा attention दे रहा है 5 दिन बाद नहीं देगा तो तुम क्या करोगे? You can't be overly dependent on that बंदा. So I introduced something called boundaries. Something called कि भाई हाँ, if you do not talk to me after 2-3 months, I'll still be okay with it. If you leave me as a friend, I'll still be okay with it. That's how things should be. You have to be okay with people leaving you, be it your best friend. To experience, downfalls because of that. अब लाइफ में अभी भी डाउनफॉल चल रहा है वो अलग बात है. But experiencing something like that, I feel, makes your character or structures how you are as a person. So it's very important.
So Isha, yeah, we have talked a lot about your college life, your work life. So we are all now college pass out, but for our juniors who still read in college, so do you have any suggestions or lessons for them that they should take care of for their to improve their job applications?
Okay, firstly, number 1, do not fucking depend on college placements. Because एक तो मिलने नहीं वाला. Secondly, अगर मिल भी गया तो see, कंपनी पर्सपेक्टिव से एचआर लोग तो सिर्फ उनका एक कोटा है कि इस कॉलेज से मेरे को जेवियर से 20 लोग उठाने हैं, मेरे को शिक्षायतन से 20 लोग उठाने हैं. मे बी पीपल हु डोंट technically maybe people who don't deserve it, they are getting those jobs. So do not judge yourself or judge your self-worth because you are not getting that job on college campus वगैरह campus offer नहीं मिला. It's okay. But also try to get internships. That's very important for you. Try to work for an early stage startup because I have. And it has been a rewarding experience for me. And try to get offers off campus as well. And do not be afraid to talk to people or pitch yourself because you have to shoot hundreds or thousands of mail to HRs or founders or anybody in that position. So तुमको there's a term called being shameless. You have to be shameless there. That job दे दो भाई, this job दे दो. तो करना पड़ेगा ये सब. It's very you are not being loud or anything. You have to present yourself. You have to be out there for people to notice you. If you are just doing a great job and not showing it to people, वैसा नहीं होगा तुमको. You have to be loud enough to actually shoot them a mail कि this is my work portfolio. If you work in design, by the way, if you want a job in something like product design or in anything related to design, तुमको अपना पोर्टफोलियो अटैच करके भेजना पड़ेगा. यू कांट बी लाइक कि दिस इज नॉट गुड इनफ. ठीक है, यू हैव टू बी लाउड इनफ टू सेंड दैट पोर्टफोलियो टू मे बी Zomato's head of design. ठीक है, तो दिस इज समथिंग which they need to have. Plus they need to have this hunger for learning कि you can't be very satisfied with your work कि मैंने ये तो कर दिया, अब आई एम वेरी सेटिस्फाइड कि हाँ इससे बेहतर मैं नहीं कर सकता हूँ. यू कैन ऑलवेज डू बेटर no matter which position you are in, no matter if you are the CEO, CTO, CPO, do not care. there are very fancy terms. I'm sorry. I will explain that. CTO means Chief Technology Officer. CPO means Chief Product Officer, by the way. So
I'm getting the Shark Tank.
but it's fine. It's totally fine. I was like, ये क्या CTO CPO कर रहा है यार. So yeah, there's that. मतलब you have to be loud enough to actually showcase your work. And in case of job applications, there are other things like you have to find your niche कि तुमको करना क्या है. For an example, did you guys know from the beginning that you guys wanted to do something in marketing or media?
I did. She did too.
मतलब बचपन से था क्या?
बचपन से नहीं. For me, it was like post class 12th.
तो एक्सप्लोर करके ही पता चला ना कि मेरे को ये करना है. तो एक्सप्लोर as much as you want. मतलब exploring will get you exposure to things. मतलब तुमको पता ही नहीं था कि मेरे को ये actually अच्छा लगता है करना. So exploring is very important. I have a term for it. Fuck around and find out. ठीक है? In case of dating, in case of work, fuck around and find out. That's what even I am doing. I work full time, but that's what I am doing as of now. देखो अभी तक मतलब I don't have a set of domain कि मैं marketing में काम करती हूँ या मैं इधर काम करती हूँ. मेरे को हर चीज करनी पड़ती है यार. Fuck around and find out. Just basically know that ये मेरे को करना अच्छा लगता है. उसके लिए तुमको basically explore करना पड़ेगा. Yes, so that was it.
So Isha, do you believe on the fact that networking play a huge impact in getting your first job or maybe like any
Ask
job?
her. I don't think I am the person who should be answering that question.
No, answering the question. First thing, I know Isha because I reached out to her from Consulting Club. She was the president of Consulting Club. I wanted to join the club as a member, so that is how I found her out. Basically, she's a senior from college. And first thing, networking ka prime example is this. Second thing, what she has told me, the same thing that she just said here in the podcast, she has told me multiple times, like n number of times, you have to walk around and find out by yourself. Do it first time. I have taken her suggestion and I have like right now what I do is sometimes if even I have like certain basic stupid questions, say for example I'm interested in marketing, or when I was like looking for certain jobs in the media field, I was reaching out to professionals in the media sector. So I was reaching out to them to understand how the job market is, how can I like tailor my resume better. I was reaching out to people from certain companies if there is any opening in that particular company. It worked out some way because I did not get any job offer from there, like any of the people that I reached out to, but I got a lot of knowledge. I got a lot of information from them. And second thing is that when you talk to people, like random people, you just text them, okay? And this is from the LinkedIn perspective I'm talking, you just text them with any question. You obviously have to add some value to them. I personally haven't been able to add any value to them because I go with that bechara face and everybody's like, okay, we'll help you. People are kind. People are genuinely nice to help you out when you just ask for help in a very polite manner. I had a lot of questions about marketing. I asked some people. I had a lot of questions about B schools. I reached out to a lot of alumni and people who are there in those colleges right now or have recently passed out. And first-hand experience, people are genuinely very sweet. People are willing to help you. You just have to ask for it. You just have to ask for it in a very polite manner and they will help you out. People are not as bitchy as we think, and that imposter syndrome is very easy to have. Oh, they are so overqualified, and why would they even want to reply to my text, or why would they even want to talk to me in the first place? I'm nothing. It works in the back of your mind somehow, but when you reach out to them, when you start talking to people, when you start exploring and networking with people, it turns out that people are not as intimidating or bad as they look from a distance.
Adding to that, because I think they know that at some point of their career they have themselves be like they were in that place as well, and maybe somebody helped them during that phase. So they have this thing that I have to be a mentor to this person, or I have to help them because somebody helped me in that phase. So that is also a point. Plus, networking. Coming to your question, networking is actually it's gold for you at the moment. If you have the right network, if you talk to the right people, I think you can do anything. मतलब तुमको कोई requirement है. For an example, this guy started the podcast. ठीक है. तुम्हारे अगर network नहीं होते, तुमने अगर networking नहीं की होती, obviously you wouldn't be able to call people here. ठीक है. मतलब reaching out to a stranger and justifying the value कि क्यों आओगे हमारे podcast पे is harder than reaching out to somebody who you know कि हाँ they can actually provide value to the podcast and this podcast will actually provide value to people watching the podcast. So networking is actually very important. Put yourself out there. Network as much as possible. I know it is uncomfortable for people like us कि भाई लोग जज करेंगे यार कैसे करूँ. देखो जज तो सब कोई करेंगे. It's fine. But there's this meme that दिखाते कि it's zooming out from the world and there's this prompt that does it really matter?
It goes to like solar system.
ये डाल देना भाई इस
Max zoom out.
ये डाल देना इस पे. तो yeah, मतलब and through networking you will make a lot of good friends as well and you might potentially get a good mentor. I found my mentor. My mentor is my boss, by the way. Love you, Tanmay. But he has been so good to me. 80% stuff I know, it's because of him. Networking is very, very, very important. मतलब, for an example, you lose your job. Okay, one day you woke up and there is your message that not resignation, but कि भाई your role has been eliminated. If you have a good network, if you have maybe you have interviewed somewhere else long time back and that CEO wanted to hire you, but तुमको लगा कि मेरे को नहीं ज्वाइन करना चाहिए, I have other priorities, तुमने बोल दिया, लेकिन तुमने अच्छे से बोला कि हाँ मेरे को ऐसा ऐसा ये है, लेकिन I would always come back to you if in the future. You can go to that person now and ask for a job because तुमको पता है कि you have a good relationship with this person and they wanted to hire you in the first place. You can always check with them. So networking is a gold mine for you at this point.
So talking about networking, job, and a lot. So right now, if money didn't matter to you, what would Isha Roy would do right now?
I mean, as lazy as I am, maybe nothing. But if I had to answer that, see, before the corporate thing, I used to have this, not a hobby, but I used to do this professionally for 8 years. I was into dancing a lot. And I used to do shows and concerts, वगैरह वगैरह. And I was too young that time. तब मेरे पास phone भी नहीं था. मतलब class, I think 2 या 3 से start किया था. And I left dancing post 10th because boards. Parents का pressure that भाई boards है तो I think that मतलब I wanted to be into dancing professionally, but then that did not happen because of academics, and then college came along, and then I am here, corporate mommy, but that happened, and इसलिए नहीं हुआ. What you guys would be doing if not this, or if money didn't matter to you guys?
Right now, more like my profession and passion is a little bit similar because professionally I want to become a journalist, and with passion I want to stay in front of camera. So that's kind of
it's a win-win situation for you.
For me, I think I have had a love for English. So I used to write. I used to write stories, stupid stories with a lot of grammatical errors, love stories. So basically, my thing is that even when I sit down, I like to romanticize things in a very storytelling format. Like I would create a mental whole cinema around that. You are the main character, I am the main character, and then there's a plot. And there's a story. So I would think situationally that whole in a very cinematic way. But in a writing perspective, not like a whatever. I used to write, but same thing, I stopped writing because even a lot of my friends have told me, a lot of my friends had pushed me so much, I ended up starting to post my whatever I used to write on Facebook back in 2020. And I would see people react and it would somehow validate me, and I started writing a lot. But then I realized even people are expecting that out of me. They want me to write more because I'm getting likes, I'm getting comments. People are saying that, oh, that's such a nice piece, or I relate to it, or whatever. It's adding pressure. It's creating pressure for me to do better.
That's called writer's block, I think. कि भाई कुछ expectation है तुमसे.
Probably. I don't know the exact definition of it, but I have heard about writer's block. But what I know, it's a creative block. I'm not talking about the creative block. But anyways, my way was, I don't want people's expectations to be surrounded around my hobby, and that is the reason I kind of stopped writing. And yeah, coming to the question directly, probably I would have become a writer maybe if money did not matter. I would
Writers do make a lot of money.
But you have to monetize that. You have to do better at it.
It depends. Sometimes like you write a book, sale nahi hua, but then other boom, you got a lot of sale, and then you technically make a lot of money. Look at Durjoy Datta.
Yeah.
मतलब अभी
he
तो
published
मैं
his first writing in
पढ़ूंगा
2021.
हाँ, तो Durjoy Datta is very 16ish, मतलब 16
Yeah,
year old
he's
Ahana or 16-year-old Manali would read Durjoy Datta, but not now.
I'm a more like a reader like who first जो मैंने अगर उस reader का मैंने कोई भी book नहीं पढ़ा होगा तो first book I would choose based on the cover. The cover would
judge a book by its cover.
मैं तो judge करूँगी cover.
My favorite writer is Elif Shafak. I love her books. I love the way she describes the society, the womanhood. I think that woman is something else. Oh my god, she's a mother. She knows everything, and that's what like
You haven't read the mommiest book of Elif Shafak.
I will because
recommendation to people who have not read 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak yet. If you are into fiction and Sufism, do give that book a read. It's a Bible. Like, it has taught me. I'm not the same person as I was before I read that book. That book has changed my perspective towards many things in life. And I think if you read only one book in your entire life, fictional but something that you can get like to learn out of it, do give 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak a read. It should be on your TBR list. Like
every book of Elif Shafak should be with you because that woman. I think my first book of Elif Shafak was in 2019. I just ran and same way. I saw the cover. The
covers are also very gorgeous.
Gorgeous, and my first book, my first book of Elif Shafak was The Bastard of Istanbul, and I'm a Turki fan, so the heading of the book, the cover, both of the things were very attractive to me, and I gave it a try, and I read it. That book has something else to say. Like it's not Elif Shafak writing is not like some every author. Like I'm not disrespecting any of the authors, but I personally found her writings something that touched my heart. Like she knows everything. Like the problems you face, she knows about it. The problem I face as a woman, she knows about it. She knows every woman's problem.
It's an industry-wise problem.
Yeah, I was like so shocked. Like
her characters are very female-centric.
I think that author has been relatable. Relatability is her इसको क्या बोलते हैं, unique selling proposition, USP. Yes, कि relatable रखो जो भी like content है.
And I got to know a lot from her writings. Like for example,
40 Rules of Love, definitely do give it a try. And I would suggest start with that.
And if you want to be like, if you don't hate sad endings wala book, then you can give it a try to read out.
I mean, I have been traumatized by The Fault in Our Stars. It's okay.
That's totally the Three Daughters of Eve. Actually, my favorite festival is Diwali, and I read that book on Diwali. That's the first Diwali I become so sad. Like the whole 3 days of Diwali, I'm so sad because that ending ended like that. Don't have a proper ending, but somehow you will manage to know that what will happen because there was no other way also. So and then last 3 pages were white. It was kind of like I can write the ending myself. So it really, but like I really wanted to change the ending because I wanted that character to be happy at that last moment of life when she finally accepted the path she is in, or like the wrong she have did to someone else just because she was so much in love. And like I want to change it all.
इसीलिए मैं fiction नहीं पढ़ता because that is not the reality. मुझे किसी और ही दुनिया में डाल देते हैं वो लोग कि अरे
No,
ऐसा
if you will read Elif Shafak, you will see it as reality because it is like so real,
relatable.
relatable. You will find like, okay, this is the situation I have also faced. So like that moment, I have thought about it differently, but she has some different perspective as well.
That's really nice.
She is an absolute excellent writer.
I have another from Elif Shafak. I haven't read it yet.
Which
The
one?
Architect's Apprentice. Coming to ChatGPT, do you think the modern technologies or AI will replace jobs?
अरे ये तो टेड कजिन्स्की वाली बात होगी ना because he was actually so much against technology and so much against processes. He predicted that we'll be controlled by technology some or the other day, and that is not going to be, that's going to be ugly because he used to live in the woods. There is no electricity, there is no Wi-Fi, there is no phone. तो वो ये से वो बाहर था. So coming to your question, what was your question again? Repeat.
Do you think artificial intelligence or modern technologies will replace jobs or human intelligence?
I don't exactly think so because in a job or whatever profession you are in, there is a human element to that. Okay. Whether there is a VC who is investing in your startup or whether there is an individual who is investing in your venture. For an example, this is your venture, right? Someday somebody will tell you that, I want to invest here. So there is a human relationship point as well. Something which AI cannot take over. वो human elements तो नहीं ले सकता भाई. They can take over the clerical stuff. कि हाँ ये करना है, grunt work करा लो वगैरह वगैरह. ये human element, ये emotion वाली चीजें, I don't think so they can take over that. Losing jobs, यार देखो, clerical चीजें अगर कर लेगा तो हाँ ये clerical वाले jobs तो जाएंगे ही जाएंगे. Grunt work वाले jobs जाएंगे ही जाएंगे. Many of the writers, many of the copywriters also lost their job when ChatGPT came out. Content creators or content writers rather, they lost their jobs when ChatGPT came out, and a lot of people took it to the internet and wrote about this कि यार मतलब इसके लिए हो रहा है. But even if it's copywriting, even if it's content writing, there is still an human emotion to that. Okay, so it won't completely मतलब take your job or anything.
So Isha, can you name 3 personalities that have made you fall in like totally in love with this business and with this job?
Do they have to be like famous personalities?
No. Absolutely, who you feel
Anyone that matters to you.
Yeah.
Anyone.
You know the answer. I think I would say that firstly that was my boss because
Yeah, Tanmay.
because he has taught me so much. Not just about business, but how to handle people as well. Because he is somebody who I look up to. He is that one person because the way he deals with people, the way he has got empathy, even though he is my boss or everybody's boss, I have not seen that happening somewhere else. That is one. My boss is one personality. Then there is somebody named Richard Taylor. Richard Taylor is basically a person who introduced behavioral economics by his book Misbehaving, if I'm not wrong. So he made me fall in love with behavioral economics. And in the third, I feel I would keep Nassim Nicholas Taleb because he has taught me a lot how to think logically, how to think systematically. Why things are happening, there is a logic behind it. If you're taking risk, take systematic risks. There is so much to learn from his books कि अरे मैंने तो कभी ऐसे सोचा ही नहीं था. ऐसा भी होता है. मतलब there is a financial crisis happening. It happened in 2008, right? A financial crisis happened. There's a movie about it as well, and he described this beautifully in his book called The Black Swan. These events are called black swan events. These events are maybe once in a blue moon events, and these events are rare events. And he has described these events beautifully in his book. So these three folks have, shaped my life, shaped me as an individual, because none of my thoughts are original. Bits and pieces are picked up by, from people. So yeah, like these three folks are somebody I really look up to. And I wouldn't give them cliche answer that it has been my mom, dad. They have been there. But if I'm being really, really honest here, these are the folks who I really look up to and who have shaped my thoughts and everything.
Nice.
So Isha, do you think that there is any misconception right now about like startups and all that you would want to clarify through this podcast?
Coming to your question, there are multiple misconceptions about startups. So whenever you see, startups like Cred or Zomato or Swiggy, वगैरह वगैरह, so you have this thought that, I should start my own venture as well. They are doing it, वगैरह वगैरह, and you think that I'll get successful as well. You have that conception about things that, the journey would be easy or something. It's not. Being a founder is so fucking hard. But putting all your energy into something that you know that it might fail in the long run, or it might be $1 billion thing for you, or like it can go till IPO, or it can get acquired by some MNC or something. You don't know that. Okay. Don't build with that mindset कि I just want to build a startup just to get acquired or just for IPO. Build it because it's your passion. क्योंकि there's a person who I worked with, and he said this to his friend during a LinkedIn chat that पैसे तो ले आओगे वेंचर कैपिटलिस्ट या इन्वेस्टर्स से, लेकिन चलाने में लोड़े लग जाएंगे अगर तुम्हारा पैशन नहीं हुआ. ठीक है, दिस इज व्हाट आई बिलीव इन. प्लस you see that these startups are getting successful, ये वो मैं भी करता हूँ, maybe I'll get successful someday. But there is another picture to that कि there are numerous startups who are failing. You have a very skewed understanding of success in startups कि भाई there are maybe thousands of startups failing, but you are only seeing 10 of them succeeding. So don't go into startups with that mindset कि यार मेरे को acquire होना है या मेरे को IPO तक ले जाना है, मेरे को पैसे बनाने हैं. This is also a very important point कि I'll only start a business or go into entrepreneurship just to make money. It's not for you then. I'm so sorry, it's not for you. It is about your passion at this point. And a startup is kind of like your baby, as you said, that this is your baby. So yeah, and you have a very skewed understanding of startups कि यार ये 1000 startups तो आपको दिख नहीं रहे जो fail हुए हैं, and there's so much to learn from these founders as well. What worked, what didn't work. You have to you can start up 15 times and then maybe you will hit that sweet spot कि हाँ ये grow हुआ अच्छे से, but you will learn so much from those 15 failed ventures or 15 failed startups. That is very valuable for you. But ये मत समझना कि भाई easy है, ऐसा तो नहीं है. It's tough being a founder, dealing with people, dealing with so many things, because some days you're killing it, some days you're getting killed. That is the thing.
If you do you think you will start up someday? Do you see yourself in that position?
I mean, a lot of people expect that from me sometimes कि यार तू तो मतलब कभी खुद का कुछ करेगी. Even my boss expects it from me that I see you as a potential founder. It's like, अच्छी बात है, it's the expectation मुझसे. But yes, maybe yes, but I tell myself कि sometimes I need to find a problem to actually start up. But ऐसा नहीं है. A lot of people who are investors, they tell people कि sometimes you don't even need an idea. It's your mindset कि भाई मेरे को कुछ build करना है. It's a builder personality कि हाँ I can build stuff. Be it starting a small business, be it starting anything. This is a startup. This is also a startup.
Yeah.
If you would like to monetize it someday, that is another thing. But basically, repeat your question for what?
Do you see yourself in a position to be a startup founder someday?
Yes, I do, but I'm very skeptical about it because
You have time to figure out. Turn the maybe into a yes.
I do, but then a lot of people tell me that you just have to do it. तुमको अभी से सब कुछ figure out करने का जरूरत नहीं है कि तुमको एकदम perfect idea चाहिए, then you can do stuff. Here also the fuck around and find out theory applies, by the way. कि तुम मतलब जाओ industry में, तुम build करो, experiment करो, then you can figure it out. But yes, I do. But for that, I have decided I would marry a tech bro because marriage is an economical decision. So there are two types of founders. ठीक है, there is a business founder and there is a tech co-founder. मतलब अगर तुम कोई tech product build कर रहे हो, अभी तो सब कुछ digital ही है, तो you need a tech co-founder. ठीक है, अगर तुम वो खुद सीख रहे हो वो अलग बात है, लेकिन yeah, I need a tech bro. So if any of the tech bros are watching, if you find me attractive, even 1%, my DMs are all open.
Then you will come and complain that they are emotionally unavailable.
ना अगर इमोशनली अनअवेलेबल हुआ ना, तो अभी तो मेरे पास बाउंड्रीज है. अभी मैं तुमको झाड़ भर मैं नहीं दूंगा कि भाई अटेंशन. अगर इमोशनली अनअवेलेबल हो तो I would be emotionally unavailable to you as well. Then I don't tolerate somebody being dismissive. Exactly. If you're being dismissive to me like that, I'll also be dismissive to you. Attachment ये क्या होता है?
Equality should be everywhere.
Absolutely, and this is therapy for you, by the way.
I don't know about who's gonna watch this episode, how many times it is gonna be watched, but I know it for sure that I am going to replay this episode so many times.
It's therapy at this point.
It is therapy for me.
I'll send you my invoice for therapy, by the way.
I would like to take that with love, but not reciprocate with any sort of payment other than my love.
Note में लिखा हुआ रहेगा, you can pay with cheesecake, which I can't even eat right now.
Anyways, okay, I think last question that we would collectively like to ask, that you have spent somewhat time here in the corporate sector and you have equipped yourself in that position to give some sort of advice to anybody. Now, if you were to give any financial advice to young people, not necessarily women, about saving money, doing anything around money in the early stages of their career, what would it be?
See, there are two parts of it. There is one part called You Only Live Once, and there is a second part
Michael Kors.
Secondly, there is this one part where your parents are getting old and you need to take responsibility. So I'll break it down to two parts because I'm structured. I'm a control freak. So basically, in that first part, तुमको खर्चा करना है, तुम करो, ठीक है. बट सैलरी आई, बहुत लोग ऐसा करते, सैलरी खर्च करते जा रहे, ठीक है. अब तुम सिस्टमेटिकली सोचो, सैलरी आई, तुम मे बी 40% ज्यादा बोल दिया, 20% तुम हटा के रखो, तुम वो इन्वेस्ट करो, जो भी करना है, तुम्हारा पर्सनल फाइनेंस इज नॉट फाइनेंशियल एडवाइस. तुम जो भी कर रहे हो उसको हटा के रखो. उसके बाद तुमको जो खर्चा करना है करो. तुमको 10,000 की घड़ी लेनी है, तुमको 14,000 की जूते लेने हैं, तुमको ट्रिप मारना है 30,000 का, तुम करो. लेकिन यू शुड बी लाइक वेल अवेयर ऑफ योर एक्सपेंसेस कि तुम कहाँ ज्यादा एक्सपेंस कर रहे हो, कि तुम शॉपिंग में ज्यादा एक्सपेंडिचर है तुम्हारा या किधर है तुम्हारा, खाने में है. इफ यू आर अवेयर ऑफ इट सिस्टमेटिकली, दिस इज ऑल्सो बिहेवियरल इकॉन थिंग, दैट इफ यू आर अवेयर ऑफ योर एक्सपेंसेस, then you would mindfully tell yourself कि मुझे इधर ये खर्चा नहीं करना है क्योंकि मैंने जनवरी में 10,000 उड़ाए हैं शॉपिंग में, मुझे फरवरी में नहीं करना है 10,000 खर्चा. वो अलग बात है कि ट्रैवल में 30,000 उड़ेगा, वो अलग बात है. लेकिन सेविंग्स इज really important. Like I'll connect it to the job security question here. Job security कुछ नहीं होता है भाई. Savings is your job security. You can get fired from an MNC job as well. No matter how big the company is. Someday somebody got up and decided that your role is not important anymore. So that person will fire you that day. What will you do? Job security is not a term. That doesn't make sense for me. Savings is your job security. फक ऑफ फंड वाला बात है ये, ठीक है। तो सैलरी आई, कुछ परसेंटेज तुमने साइड में रख दिया, तुम इन्वेस्ट करो, जो भी करो वो तुम्हारी मर्जी है, पर्सनल फाइनेंस है तुम्हारा। एंड पोस्ट दैट तुमको जो जो खर्चे करने तुम कर लो, लेकिन रिकॉर्ड योर ट्रांजैक्शंस। देयर इज एन ऐप कॉल्ड एक्सियो, they have this spend analyzer as well. This will only work for Android, by the way. Sorry iOS folks, तुमको वो मतलब बेसिकली नहीं करने देगा।
एक्सेल शीट बना लो यार।
एक्सेल शीट बहुत मैनुअल वर्क है यार, मतलब iOS के लिए भी मैनुअल वर्क ही है। देयर इज एन ऐप कॉल्ड डाइन, बाय द वे, एंड देयर यू कैन रिकॉर्ड योर ट्रांजैक्शन एंड कैटेगराइज देम कि हाँ मेरा 5,000 शॉपिंग में खर्चा हुआ वगैरह। यू कैन गेट दिस होल व्यू कि मंथली तुम्हारे कितने खर्चे क्या क्या हो रहे हैं, एंड उसके हिसाब से यू कैन एक्चुअली एनालाइज कि मेरे को फरवरी में इतना खर्चा नहीं करना है इसमें। इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू टू कीप ट्रैक एंड बी अवेयर ऑफ इट कि हाँ मैंने 10,000 इधर उड़ाए हैं, इसीलिए मैं 10,000 इधर नहीं उड़ा सकती। बी अवेयर ऑफ इट, मतलब माइंडफुली खर्चा करो कि। और एक चीज है कि देयर इज वन वे ऑफ डूइंग खर्चा, आस्किंग योरसेल्फ डू आई रियली नीड दिस और दिस इज मोर ऑफ अ वांट, ठीक है। आई नो वी ह्यूमंस in economics we think that we humans are not rational people. We are not thinking systematically here. We are irrational people. Some of our purchases, most of our purchases are driven by emotions. तुम maybe तुम घड़ी ले रहे हो, maybe तुम you're buying clothes. Those purchases are driven by emotions, ठीक है। And that's why their marketing team knows that. That's why they will integrate emotion with their marketing campaigns ताकि तुम वो लो, because they know that that's why your purchases are connected to your emotions. तो वो अगर तुम कंट्रोल करना सीख जाओगे तो savings is really really important. बट हाँ मतलब दारू पे खर्चा कम करो
वरना लिवर खराब हो जाएगा,
वरना लिवर खराब हो जाएगा गाइस, तुम मेरी तरह कुछ खा नहीं पाओगे फिर।
Lovely, I'm totally loving this conversation actually,
Yeah.
and I got so
Very.
invested into it. But the only bad part about
that we are
everything,
running out of
we are
time.
running out of time.
और याप नहीं कर सकते guys।
But we have a little hamper for you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really nice.
It's pink.
Pink is our code.
Pink is our brand
I
color.
look very goth and this looks very Barbie. So this is
Barbieheimer. Yes. Barbieheimer code.
It's really nice. That's really sweet of you guys. Thank you so much.
Very, very.
We hope you will like it.
Absolutely.
Inside whatever it has also.
And I think we would like to wrap the episode for today. Here it's been very long, but did you enjoy the episode first of all?
Absolutely.
Anyways, we had a lovely time having you over, Isha. We got to, I think Manali would agree to this as well, that we got to learn a lot first thing from this conversation, and we hope that you had an equally amazing time. Did you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so आज के लिए ये podcast बस इतना ही. And
please don't forget to
like, comment, share, and
subscribe to The Scoop Sisters. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.